Do you have someone in your life that when they speak, you want to stop and listen? Well, this gal that is a guest on my channel today is that for me. Her name is Andrea, and I reached out to her and I asked her, would she like to collaborate with me and do a video on the bugs that bug us in our gardens? And she said, yes, I would love to do that. So I thought, okay, well, she'll do her segment on the bugs that bug her in her garden. I'll do my segment on the bugs that bug me in my garden. And we'll put the two together and we'll make a video. Well, when she sent me her video, I said to myself, okay, I just want to stop and listen to what she has to say. She captured exactly what I've been trying to achieve in my garden for the last 2 years as far as natural pest control, as far as creating a natural balance, a natural ecosystem. So I was kind of taken aback by her wisdom, and I decided I wasn't even going to share about any of the bugs that bug me in my garden and what I do about them. I just wanted to listen to her and learn from her, and I felt like you guys would feel the same way once you hear her. She has a beautiful Instagram account. She has a young YouTube channel, and so I will put the links to both of those platforms in the description below. Please, please, please subscribe to her YouTube channel. I feel like she's one of those gardeners we need to hear from. I think she's got this wisdom in the garden that is just things we need to hear and will help us create that natural ecosystem in our gardens the way the gardening is meant to be. We're not meant to spray all of these synthetic or even organic pesticides. It's just not meant to be that way. So I want to encourage you to listen to everything she has to say. It's only about 10 minutes. And please stay tuned to the end. I do have a little announcement I want to make at the end. So anyway, take it away, Andrea.
Hi there, I'm Andrea from Between the Fields Flower Farm. My farm is located in central Pennsylvania in Zone 6A. I am so thrilled that Bobby and I met earlier this year on Instagram. We became really quick friends and have enjoyed chatting about flowers, and I'm just honored that she invited me to do this video with her today. I think it's so neat that we can connect with other people and learn tips and tricks about what's working and maybe what's not working. So I hope that as I share about the bugs that have been bugging me this year, I hope that maybe you'll learn a little something in today's video. The first bug that came to mind when Bobby said she wanted to do a video about bugs was the Japanese beetle. I'm sure if you have flowers, a lot of you probably struggle with that bug, and I have too over the years. So this year was a learning year for me, and typically I just, you've probably heard this before, but I just go around and hand pick the Japanese beetles. So I get a cup of soapy water. I always wear gloves because if you've ever had a Japanese beetle on you, they're kind of heebie-jeebie. Their little feet just cling to you, and it's a yucky feeling. They just want to grasp on. But the thing is that they are easily disturbed, and so when you have your cup of soapy water, a lot of times you don't even have to touch the bug. You can just shake the leaf a little bit and they kind of play dead, and they let go and they fall right into your cup, and then they'll die in the soapy water. So that is definitely a technique that I have used and continue to use. This year I found out something totally by accident, but I have a dahlia that they were especially drawn to. They love dahlias. They eat dahlias, they eat the leaves, they eat the beautiful flowers, and then the petals are chewed on and they're not pretty, so I can't use them. I can't sell that flower, it's all chewed up. But this year, accidentally, I figured out that there was a dahlia that they were especially drawn to. And so, unfortunately, I don't have any video of that, but it was incredible. This dahlia was just smothered with the Japanese beetles, and I ended up just using that as a trap crop and letting them devour it, even though it broke my heart because it's a beautiful dahlia. I let them have that. I sacrificed it, and they let all my other dahlias alone. It was incredible. My plan for next year is to plant more of those dahlias. As those tubers have multiplied, I'm going to plant more of those dahlias on the edge of my property. The wind always blows. It's very windy where I live. And so as I'm going to plant a row of those and see if they will work as a trap crop before they can get to the rest of the dahlias. So that's my plan to help control Japanese beetles. The other bug that I have struggled with over the years is the grasshopper. I've had years where there's just multiple grasshoppers on a sunflower, just, you know, enjoying it, and it's so sad to see. But luckily, what I have found is that I have tried to create more of a habitat on my property rather than just focusing on solely flowers and being so frustrated with the crops that are getting eaten and, you know, frustrated with the pests. I'm trying to create more of a habitat where I'm drawing the birds in. We put several bird houses and bird feeders and bird baths up, and we have really noticed a decrease in our pest problem after we did that. I grow the birdhouse gourds, and so I save them, dry them, make birdhouses out of them, just what they're intended for. And we just have been so thrilled that nature is taking care of itself. We also, we do our best to invite possums and skunks. While some might not agree with that because they can dig and they can be their own problem, they really will take care of a lot of insects and even moles and voles. So I certainly welcome those on my farm. We have a live trap that we keep set because unfortunately we do have groundhogs too, and they are not so helpful. So if we catch a groundhog, we carry that out into the woods and let it free. But if we were to catch a possum or a skunk, we just let it loose right back here on the farm and just welcome it to stay. And they're drawn to the insects, of course, but also say you have fruit trees. If you let some of that fruit drop, they're drawn to that rotting fruit. They like to hide in wood piles or just low bushes so that they have coverage because they don't like to be out and seen. So those are ways that we invite nature to really take care of itself. And since we've done that, since we've had the birdhouses especially, we don't have the grasshopper problem like we used to. So I think that's so cool that it takes care of itself if you allow it. Now I totally admit that there are times that we have to do something. We have to get involved because maybe the pest is just taking over and we're losing a crop or something. But generally, I'm just so thrilled that we seem to have created this balance that, yep, we see a grasshopper here and there, but not, you know, they're not taking over like they were at one time. And when I do see them, not to be morbid or gross, but if I have my snips with me, I absolutely just go in real slow and cut that sucker right in half. Along those same lines, I thought I would share about one beneficial bug, a bonus bug, if you will, because not all bugs are bad. We were blessed to have a couple of wheel bugs in our garden this year. And while they look really intimidating and kind of scary, they are part of a family of bugs called the assassin bugs, which is kind of scary. But they're a really helpful bug in the garden. They eat a lot of other bugs. And so we were just thrilled to have them in our garden this year. And I did, you know, in a way it was a good thing because it made me slow down when I was harvesting. A lot of times I'm trying to go as quickly as possible, but after I saw that wheel bug, their bite is very painful to humans, and so I did not want to get bit. It did make me enjoy the process a little bit more by slowing down and really looking before I was harvesting. So they were beneficial in more ways than one. But You know, I used to really look at bugs as truly a pest and be so frustrated and irritated. And then someone told me a long time ago that having bugs is a sign of a healthy ecosystem. And it was like my whole mindset changed when I realized that that's true. Like, if you have an aphid problem, yes, there are times we have to step in and do something, but if you look closely, do you have ladybugs nearby? Because the ladybug is probably there taking care of the aphid. Or maybe you have some lacewings. They also like aphids, you know. And I just think if we can create a harmony, a balance within our farms, nature will take care of itself. We might lose a little bit of crops, you know. But that's a given for any farmer. We're going to lose crops along the way. But if we welcome other beneficial bugs, other beneficial animals, and just create some harmony, that's really my goal and what I want to do on my farm, rather than spraying pesticides and killing all of the bugs. Because, you know, I'm so grateful. I have a huge abundance of bees on my farm, and I know that they are getting totally natural pollen. There's no pesticides on it whatsoever. There's an apiary just down the road from me. I get tons of their honeybees, and it just makes me feel so good to know that those bees are going back and they're creating honey for that farmer, and it's totally natural and healthy, and there's nothing toxic in it whatsoever. So that's my goal. It may not work for everyone. I'm a very, very small scale farmer, and so that's something that works for me. So I hope that, you know, you can take some time to think about creating a healthy ecosystem on your farm, creating the habitat for animals to be invited to, and that maybe you'll see a decrease in the pest bugs that you've dealt with.
Well, was I right? I mean, really, she's got this wisdom. It just rolls out of her mouth. I love to be around people like that, and I love to learn from friends like that. And when she described the Japanese beetle falling over backwards, that was hilarious. Oh, so funny. So here's my little announcement. Because I've earned over 3,000 watch hours on my YouTube channel, I am eligible for what is called Super Thanks. So if you'll notice on, like, down near the description of each of my videos, it says, it's got a little, maybe it's like a heart with a $sign, and it says thanks. That's a Super Thanks. And you can buy a Super Thanks on my channel. And I'm not one to ask for money for myself, but any Super Thanks that I receive from now until the end of 2023, I'm going to send to Andrea, and they can use it to buy equipment for their YouTube channel or whatever their needs are for filming. So if you decide to buy a Super Thanks on any of my videos, it doesn't have to be just this video. It can be any of my videos, anything that has been of value to you or anything that you have enjoyed, then YouTube gets 30% of that, and I get 70% of that. That amount will go into my revenue on my channel. And then I will in turn send that money to Andrea and her family. And if I receive any money at the end, by the end of the year, I'll put it in a community post, maybe how much I've received or who has given. You can have your name shouted out to, and that way we can all help each other. Now, Andrea doesn't know anything about this. She won't know about this until she watches the video herself. She did not ask me to do this. It's just something that came to me as I was praying over our collaboration and how I could help her out a little bit. You know, we're supposed to be good stewards of what God has given us here on this earth. And whether you're a flower farmer like Andrea, whether you're a home gardener like me, or maybe you just garden on your patio or whatever, we want to be good stewards and not be spraying things that kill all of our bees and all of our pollinators. And we know that a lot of those things are in danger. So we don't want to be a part of that. We want to be a part of the answer and a part of the solution. So I feel like videos like this is going to help us to be a part of the answer. Neither Andrea nor I want to make anyone feel bad about how they treat pests in the garden, but rather we want to inspire you to think about creating that natural ecosystem in your garden. As I said, it's taken me 2 years to get there, and not that I've arrived, but I'm working towards that goal, and things are so much better in my garden. I'm really seeing that all of the natural elements work together. The good bugs are there in my garden, the birds and things like that. So don't feel bad if you've been using pesticides, but just think about a change. Think about making a step toward how can I do this better? And I think Andrea just really explained it so well. So once again, please subscribe to Andrea's channel, Between the Fields Flower Farm. I will put all of that in the description below. I so appreciate you sticking with us today. I feel like this is probably one of the most important videos on my channel. I have over 200 videos, and I feel like this is probably the most important one. I very, very much appreciate your support and being with us here today. Until next time, friends, from Andrea and I, happy gardening. Bye-bye.